crowned champion in lacrosse. We'll tell you who won, and we'll let you meet them next. Before we go on to the boys' championship between Palos Verdes and Foothill, let's take a moment to remember what happened the last time these teams squared off for a championship. It was last year. Foothill down big early on, trailing 5-0 to start the game, but they dug deep and they fought back, and they ultimately won 11-10. So an exciting ending in that one, which set the table quite nicely for this year's game. Palos Verdes in white looking for revenge. Foothill in black looking for another win. Ideally, they would have preferred not to have to play catch-up, but apparently that's just not in the cards for them. TV scores first, but this time, Foothill does not let it get out of control. In fact, they respond right away, and they respond several times. Tyler Brown scores 3 goals in the span of 3 minutes and 39 seconds. A little later on, Riley Hales gets involved, and this time, if anybody is going to come from behind, it's going to have to be Palos Verdes. Foothill, highly composed, clicking on all cylinders, scoring from all over the place. That's Trent Jones with the left-handed goal, make it 6-4 at the break. And then this, right here, is the backbreaker. Goalie Sam Going coming out of the net, running the length of the field and getting an assist on this score by Jones. That made it a 4-goal game and ultimately cemented the championship for Foothill. An 11-7 final score, and look at how many people are on that lacrosse team. Happy to have a few representatives of that team with us here today. Head coach John Fox, forward Riley Hales, and defenseman Michael Clenshaw, who also played a huge role in that championship, despite not having made the highlight. We will talk about that in just a sec. But first, Coach, want to start with you. It's not a particularly popular sport in Southern California in terms of number of schools that field teams, but boy, you have a lot of people on that team at Foothill. Tell me how you have built up that program to be so strong and so many in numbers.
Well, lacrosse is just a great sport, and once the kids get their hands on a stick, they don't want to stop playing. And so we just see our town, Tustin's, just turned into a lacrosse town. The kids love it, and we just get them up through high school and get them focused on where they can succeed.
Which is, both of you guys started playing in, what, 6th grade?
Yeah.
So you've been playing for an awfully long time.
Yeah.
Riley, you guys won a championship last year. So I'm interested to know how much that played a part in how your season went this year, because obviously that puts the target right squarely on your back, and everybody's gunning for you. Did it change things for you this year?
Yeah, definitely. Well, we obviously know that people want to beat us because we were the champs last year. So Coach is obviously always reminding us that we need to work harder in practice and come out and play our best games. And I think that going into the playoffs, we really took that in our minds and started to develop as a team. And I think one motto we tried to follow throughout the year was teamwork makes the dream work. And I think that in the end,
it rhymes.
Yeah, in the end, we got our dream.
And have the rings from last year. Go ahead and flash the bling right here.
Yeah.
Be getting another one or a couple more of those.
Right.
So I mentioned already that Michael played a huge part in the championship game. He was actually the MVP of the championship game. Coach, tell me why.
Well, Michael Clenshaw is an incredible defenseman, and he's all over the field, up and down for us, and no matter what, we give him the toughest assignment. We find out who the toughest player is, and we put Clenshaw on him. That way we don't have to worry about the double teams and all that, and he gets the job done. It's fantastic.
Toughest player in this particular game for Palos Verdes was Nolan Semmel. So tell me what your job was and what the key was to shutting him down.
Well, we knew from the get-go that he was their leading scorer and that he was going to be their major threat from the midfield. So also last week against St. Margaret's, I had to cover Hunter Steffian, who was their best midi. So we pretty much went with the same game plan. And then I just played like I normally do, and I was able to slow him up.
Coach, this sport, this championship, I guess, is technically an unofficial championship because less than 20% of CIF Southern Section schools field teams. That said, now that you have at least an unofficial championship and that it's a Southern Section sponsored event, how much do you think that will help grow the sport?
Well, I mean, I think it's big. I mean, schools recognize that this is an opportunity for players to succeed on the athletic field and beyond into college. And CIF sets a fair playing stage, and the kids get to come out and battle for who's best. And it's just great all around. The administrations, when they get behind it, you can really see what happens, like at our school.
I asked him before we went on what type of person should play lacrosse, what type of athlete was best suited. He said tall, dark, and handsome. So he's got a sense of humor, too. So he's headed to BYU to play lacrosse. He is headed to Bucknell. Their careers will continue on, and we will maybe see you next year. Good luck with that. Congratulations on the championship, guys.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come